Thank you all so much for coming out to support Rob Rogers. It is so important. He has been the voice for so many of us, for marginalized people, for immigrants, for the LGBTQ community, for everybody. He has been there for them, for us. He has now been silenced. Silenced by a newspaper, for heaven's sakes. Silenced, and we must now speak on his behalf. It's the least we can do. What is a newspaper for? A newspaper is to inform the community. A newspaper is to give the community a voice. That is supposed to happen, for instance, on the opinion and editorial pages, which is now run by Keith Burris. We now have no liberal voice. Our daily newspaper is now full Trumpian. Truly Trumpian. It's not conservative republicanism. This is Trump stuff. And it's Trump stuff to censor things. It's again, we are seeing, I have been saying for the last 500 days, I guess, every time I talk on my show, I find myself saying one word. Unprecedented, I say. And it has to do with whatever just happened the day before. Unprecedented, I say. Trib Review, tell us what's the difference? Post-Gazette, Trib Review, tell us what's the difference? Post-Gazette, Trib Review, tell us what's the difference?
Artists and their art don't die, no matter how they're treated in their life. I mean, Shakespeare died in 1616. That's 4 centuries back. And over the years, there have been attempts to ameliorate Shakespeare, to censor Shakespeare. It never worked. So today, I can tell you as a matter of fact, that a play of Shakespeare is being played, performed somewhere in this world. Absolutely. A play of Shakespeare right now is appearing somewhere in the world, and that's triumph enough. In the case of Rob Rogers, I hope we won't have to wait that long.
Leaders were also very radical ideas in the late 1700s. We, the people of the United States, owe our democratic way of life to the Rob Rogers of that period. Thomas Paine was Rob Rogers. Yes. Alexander Hamilton was Rob Rogers. Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, John Adams, John Jay were all Rob Rogers.
Not only under the Constitution, but in the everyday way in which they're regarded by their towns, by their readers, by their community. They are indeed part of a social contract that says, we will give you the liberty to practice, and we will expect from you a spirit of openness, inclusiveness, a sense that maybe sometimes you need a special irritant there to keep people scratching and thinking.
What we've got going here is what the opinion page should be. He's got an opinion, I've got an opinion. They're both valid.
Never mind's right.
Companies, that's what we hear. At the end of the day, they can do what they want. I say it's censorship, they say it's editorial decision. Made by men, mostly white men, who have no idea what an editorial decision is.
We shouldn't have to be out here, but I think we've all seen the build-up to this across the country and locally, as Charlie Deitch just explained. And I think this is not just in Pittsburgh, right? There were journalists protesting in Denver a couple weeks ago because their editor was censoring their content. And Charlie Deitch was fired, but there have been local all-weeklies being bought up by private capital and conservative, very rich conservative people, and then gradually shut down systematically or having all their staff fired, like with the LA Weekly.
No, historically, the first thing to go in a dictatorship is poetry, art, and the word. We can look all over the world for those examples.
I hope you stick with us.
Yep.
I understand I don't expect to be persuasive to everyone, but there's a lot more to the Post-Gazette still than those 2 pages.
Yep.
Yeah, but they silenced Mary Worth and Rex. Last time I looked, a newspaper's function, we've been told about what a newspaper's function is, but it is to hold the powerful accountable in the public sector and in the private sector. But here's a problem. Who's going to hold the paper accountable? It can only be us. And this has to be just the beginning of telling Mr. Block he might own it, but it belongs to this community.